Monday. You are running with the runners. It's September 25th, 2023. Ricardo, we are going on a 90-day run to change as many lives as possible, man. I am super pumped up. How are you doing this week, my brother?
Yeah. No complaints, brother. No complaints at all. Fired up for this run, man. Because I'm telling you right now, the next 90 days, and then just going into 2024. Always wearing this hat. Putting
Yep.
people aware of the wealth transfer, the Great Reset. Having them think forward, and the run up to 2024 and what you're doing right now in your life is so critical. It's so important. That you're doing the right things with your time, doing the right things with your money, following the right people. And so we're glad to continue to add value as we document the collapse, as we help people, grasp the magnitude of what's going on and accumulate assets. And we just got a fire show and fire information to share with you guys. So get ready, run with the runners. We're going to have some fire information for you to share out and opportunities to take advantage of this market.
And, we felt like we had to do something we don't normally do. So normally we're going live at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And I was like, man, we got to get up, get it cracking, get going, get this content out early. We're going to be going live on TikTok every day after Facebook and YouTube. So we are just on a mission to get this done. And I just want to show you guys what the schedule will look like. We're going to be going 12 noon Eastern Standard. Of course, you can always catch it anytime. You can watch the replay. It's always on our YouTube as well, our separate YouTube channels. So on Monday, we're talking about mindset. On Tuesday, we're talking about technology. It could be AI. It could be cryptocurrency, blockchain. It could be services that we're using to help people. Wealth Wednesday. And of course, those are all on YouTube, Facebook. On Thursday, it's going to be a private Zoom for those who have joined with the runners and are running with us. So we're going to teach you guys how to get your trading set up. We're going to have special guests on and really just literally hold your hand of how to make money without having a job. On Freedom Friday, we're going to get real, raw, and out there. Some things that we don't normally do. We'll start on YouTube and Facebook, but we're probably going to have to finish on Rumble so we don't get censored and kicked off these platforms. As always, you can join the movement. Just get in the Runners app. We'll be using that a lot more. Go to runwithrick.com or richdaddy.org for mine. So Ricardo, M.I.M.S, break it down as to why we are doing this and what do we hope to accomplish with it?
Yeah, man, this is something that we normally do around this time of year. We help a lot of people. We help a lot of people accumulate wealth, get assets. We have a lot of success. We normally have a lot of fun and great time towards the end of the year like this. But now it's really critical because literally we are on the cusp of the full reset. Everything is pretty much in place. The world powers are moving in position. The banks have already have things set up. We're seeing new things come about that we were expecting to see later on. They're now happening right now. And so it's about, helping people understand what they don't know. It's about helping people get a perspective of what's going on so they can better prepare and know the time and what must be done. Because the fact is, you don't know what you don't know. And there are people out here who are literally eat, sleep, breathing this reset, like figuring out what's going on. They know what's going on with the markets. They know what's going on with technology. They know what's going on just with this industry and the assets and what you want to have. And things are moving so fast that if you're not on top of it, you will miss it. And you might not understand just how dire the situation is globally and what's going to happen to the market and how you can position yourself. And so we just want to continue to bring awareness and help make people become, awake to the situation that's going on and why you need to be doing certain things, accumulating assets, creating multiple streams of income, reducing your liabilities and expenses, and building real lasting generational wealth.
That's what it's about, man. And I look forward to how many people we're going to help and the stories we're going to be able to share with the community because so many lives are going to be changed. So let's get right into it, guys. We're just going to do a quick market update each day. The Dow Jones is just turned down a little bit, just down about half a point, not even half a point, 0.5 of a point. S&P 500 up 9.45 to 4,329. The NASDAQ is up 32 And it looks like S&P rises slightly today as traders try to recover some of these September losses. Now, one of the things we're, of course, going to teach you guys is to profit if the market goes up or the market goes down. Either way, we're going to show you guys how to win.
Yeah. And one thing about that stock market, folks, keep in mind that really the stock market is there now as a mechanism of market control, perception control. When the market is doing well, people believe the economy is doing well, but trust and believe the economy is not doing well. Okay, we're in a worse crisis than the 2008 financial crisis. This is overvalued, manipulated, and rigged market. Okay, so you do have to understand that these numbers and what you're seeing is not real, and the market will have to correct to fair value because of all the cheap money that they printed and all of the fiscal challenges that we have right now, and of course with the Fed also still rising rates. So keep in mind that there is a major shock coming to this market eventually, and you want to be mentally and positioned portfolio wise prepared for that. Go ahead, Mike.
And looking at the market caps in the entire world of the top assets, of course, we have gold at the top at $1,937. Again, that's for the fake paper price of gold. Getting actual real gold in your hand will probably cost you over $2,000 right now. Apple, the number one stock in the world, at 176.40. Microsoft at 316. Google at 131. Amazon at 131 as well. Silver, the number 7 asset in the world, at $23.39 with a market cap of just 1.3 trillion. And I think we got Tesla at 10 at 245. Bitcoin at $26,218, number 13 asset in the world. Come over here to the infinite market cap. I'm sorry, the coin market cap. We got Ethereum just below 1,600. XRP at 50 cents. What else do we want to? Polkadot just above $4. Polygon at 51 cents. Chainlink at 741. Stellar at 11 cents. Atom at 7. Hedera HBAR at 5 cents. So that kind of rounds out Quant at 88, which to me is a buy. I got to get some more Quant.
Yeah, 88.
Yeah, anything under 90 is a buy for me when it comes to Quant. So that's just a quick market update. M.I.M.S, anything you want to add, just as an overall, what people need to keep in mind during this time?
Yeah, this is a healthy practice that you should do every single day as well. You should kind of just be aware of where the market is, the price of certain assets, what cryptocurrencies are doing what, because there are opportunities that will pop up in this market. And if you know how to properly evaluate and, you just look at it on a daily basis, you can see how the market is moving and you can take advantage of certain things. And when the time comes and you're ready, then you can execute. So we like to document the collapse. So we have this record. We're documenting, this wealth transfer, the fluctuations in the market, because we know at some point very soon we are going to see a massive change in this market, and we want to be on top of it and help our community be aware of it at the same time.
And our goal is to help people become as many people as possible become financially free in the next 90 days and beyond. So we talk about this all the time, guys, but the number one thing it comes to your wealth, it comes to your mindset first. Okay. If you are feeling bad for yourself, if you're blaming other people for your finances, if you have to be rich in your mind first before it actually happens in your bank account. So the video we're going to break down today, we're going to apply what Kobe Bryant learned playing basketball. We're going to apply that to finances because the parallels are like glaringly obvious. At least when I watched this, they were. So M.I.M.S, let's get into this and kind of see how we can get our mind right first when it comes to money to then become financially free.
You really want me on the team. What's your approach to recruitment?
You want first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else.
Right there, M.I.M.S, the confidence he has, right? Right away, he's saying, I'm a winner. I'm going to win. So when it comes to your finances, you must have that same mindset.
Yeah, and I think it's critical that if you don't have that mindset, you need to be around the people that have that mindset so you can learn to eventually develop that mindset.
Yep, and he's
Yeah.
going to talk about that, so you nailed it.
Like I would watch Magic play. I'd watch Michael play. And I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out.
That's why he's the best player in the game.
Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
So because you know what you want, the world's giving you exactly the information you need to become better at it.
Because you know what you're looking for.
So many guys tell stories about your work ethic.
Yeah.
What was really your work ethic like, and for how long?
So before he gets into the work ethic, he's talking about learning. Okay. So if you're struggling with finances, you're having issues with debt, credit, you want to make more money, the first thing you have to do is find one platform where you can learn how to manage your money better. Now, everyone thinks they can go to YouTube University and learn how to do a bunch of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, you're following a bunch of different people who have a bunch of different ideas. You got this there, that over here. And eventually what happens is you get frustrated and you end up quitting because you don't have one single plan to success.
How long did you stay disciplined?
Well, I mean, every day. Since 20 years. It was an everyday process and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. My vertical was a 40, it wasn't a 46 or a 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive. Right? So you got to figure out ways to strengthen them so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast. Right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed.
So a couple points I took there, M.I.M.S, was he was doing it every day, which is why we're doing this 90-day run to get you guys, going every day at this. And he worked on his weaknesses. Okay. He didn't not talk about it. He said to himself, I got to improve in these areas. And I think people need to do the same thing with their money right now.
Yeah. Everything comes down to mindset, and he's showing you how he's been great. I love it. It's awesome. So
what I found is a lot of times if people let's say they have bad credit, they just want to avoid it, right? Because it's out of sight, out of mind. Or if they don't have a savings account that they want their savings account to be bigger, they'll just stop focusing on their savings account when actually it's the opposite. Whatever your weaknesses are is what you need to work on.
Facts.
It's a good separation for me, emotionally, to be able to put myself in a place where at practice or when I'm training or during games, I switch my mind to something else. I switch my mode into something else, right? For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus, Decimus, Meridius, and Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt. It's go time, right? So that was my mental switch. It was like an actor getting ready for a film. You got to put yourself in that cage. When you're in that cage, you are that character. And then when you leave there, it's something completely different. But when I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me, don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
So right there, if you guys want to get serious about your finances, you need to have a dedicated time where that's what you're focused on. You're not checking social media. You're not looking at your phone to get text messages or, checking some other YouTube video. You're mentally focused and driven on that task at hand of whether it's you're learning something about your finances, maybe you're going through your bills or your budget, but you got to get serious with it every single day and be dedicated to make it happen.
Yeah, commitment, no distractions, eliminate distractions. Once you focus, once you make that decision, That's it. But do know that there will be people who want to take up your time, that want to distract you, that want to deter you from this new course that you said that you're committed to doing. And you have to keep that focus and make sure that you get done what you need to get done, because that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, and that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for people who are ready to change their lives when it comes to mentally, physically, and financially.
How did you get mentally and emotionally so strong where it doesn't bother you?
Well, you got to look at the reality of the situation. Like for me, it's not, you kind of got to get over yourself. Like, it's not about you, man. Like, okay, you feel embarrassed. You're not that important. Like, get over yourself.
That's where you go.
Get over yourself, right? Like, you're worried about how people may perceive you, and like you're walking around and it's embarrassing because you shot 5 air balls. Get over yourself, right? And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen? Got it. High school, year before, we played 35 games, max.
So right there, get over yourself. If you've had money issues, stop avoiding them. Stop being scared to talk about them. Stop being afraid to go and seek help. Get over it and know that until you recognize the problem, you're not going to come up with a solution to get it fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's huge. A lot of times we're our own worst enemy with our thoughts.
Yep.
And so you have to make sure that you're telling yourselves the right thing and countering the wrong things that you're telling yourself. And one of those things is get over yourself. That's a great way to put it. Like, it's not that big. The world is not revolving around this one thing, but it's important that you get done what you need to get done and eliminate the negative thoughts that are coming behind you while you're trying to get it done.
And, he said right away of like, why are my shots coming up short? So rather than avoiding that problem, he's looking at it to diagnose, how can I change this? Right. So maybe you overspend on credit cards. Okay. That's a problem, that we can fix. Maybe your credit's bad. Maybe you have too much debt. Maybe you're just not making enough from your job. Whatever it is, you have to focus on that to fix it. You can't ignore it.
Right? Week in between, spaced out, plenty of time to rest. In the NBA, it's back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I didn't have the legs. So you look at the shot, every shot was online. Every shot was online, but every shot was short. Right? I got to get stronger. I got to train differently. The weight training program that I'm doing, I got to tailor it for an 82-game season so that when the playoffs come around, my legs are stronger and that ball gets there. So I look at it with rationale and say, okay, well, the reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. I go, well, next year they'll be there. That was it.
Done. Were there some names that you looked at and says, these 3 guys are as crazy as I am?
At the time, I deal with what I've referred to as Goat Mountain. I went to Goat Mountain and I talked to Magic, Michael, Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Jerry West, Oscar Robinson, Bill Russell. So I would talk to them. What did you do? What were your experiences? Michael in particular, he's become my big brother. He's been my big brother since I first came in the league. And what was that process like? So I went to them and started understanding the ins and outs of the game and how they approach things and their level of detail and obsessiveness, and that's what I did.
So I mean, Mims, this is the way this correlates with finances is so spot on, right? You cannot get better by yourself. If you've struggled thus far, you're going to need to seek experts, people who have specific knowledge in these areas to help get you out of it. If Kobe Bryant, couldn't become a great player without reaching out to other people, how are you going to become better with your finances and your mindset if you're not doing the same thing?
Yeah. I mean, the fact is that wherever you're trying to go, you probably haven't got there because you didn't have a good system, or you didn't have a good team, or you didn't have the resources around you. So it is important that to try to get to a level that you've never got to, obviously by yourself or with the present tools and resources that you had, that you go out and find the resources or the team or the network that's needed to help you get to that next level, to motivate you in the process as well. So that, like, when I hear Kobe, talked about going to Goat Mountain, You know what I'm saying? He went to people who know what they were doing, who had experience, who can give him the advice and expertise that they need to get to the next level. And so when we're applying that to finance, to me, I was thinking about smart finance. I was thinking about getting, like you talked about, we're helping people get their credit straight, helping people eliminate debt, providing them the tax services that they need, helping them restructure their W-4s, being able to provide them with legal services and business services and everything of that nature to help them get on the right step, the next step, to their financial future that they want to be to. The same way Kobe went to the GOAT mountain to figure out how to elevate and learn and pick up new skills to go to the next level in the game.
And it's, in my experience, I've seen people struggle because they don't know who to go to, right? Or they're afraid it's going to cost, all this money, and, I don't know who to trust. And if I go to somebody I trust, I'm going to have to pay them. So we've solved all those problems with Smart Finance. So anytime you guys want to join, just look down below on Facebook or YouTube and get our free app, and we'll get you guys started on financial freedom.
The players that had that passion but weren't willing to commit their entire lives to doing that, right? It's a choice, right? You have other things, you have family, you have all these other things that you have to do. The game can't really be your number one priority. And so I was just looking at that like, man, this is gonna be fun.
If I'm buddies with you from high school, if I'm a cousin of yours, what happened to our relationship? How did that gravitate when you went into the league and you're determined to become the greatest, or you're determined to become one of the greatest? What happens to our relationship?
Oh, it suffers.
It does suffer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you understood that. You were okay
yeah.
with that.
Well, yeah. And the people that love you, like friends and family, like they know that about you.
Got it.
So they let you be you. And when you reconvene, you pick back up where you left off. Mm-hmm. But make no mistake about it, everything in between is lost, right? So those long-term relationships, the commitment of time of, taking vacation. Like I see a lot of players take vacations with other players that are close friends. And they'll just take vacations just to take vacations, or just hang out just to hang out. Like I never did that.
So this one is also huge, M.I.M.S, is if you're going to change your relationship with money, then your other relationships are going to change too. Okay. You might be working more. You might be studying more, putting in more work into your finances and mindset. You might just stop wasting time. You might not be able to go out to eat dinner or do whatever it is that your friends were doing. You might not have to, skip that vacation or skip hanging out with those friends, because unless your relationships with other people change, your relationship with money won't change either.
Yeah, that's why people get on budgets. And this is why, we also help with that. And the thing is that you have to have a system, but you also have to realize that there's sacrifice to getting to any new level in any endeavor that you're choosing to do. And that's where the rub is, and some things will fall, some things you will lose, relationships or that time. If you're used to treating yourself or spending on yourself in a certain manner, you've developed certain habits that have become a custom. Friday, I'm getting pizza and ice cream or whatever it is. You know what I mean? You have to be prepared and ready to make that adjustment and know that, yes, you're making a sacrifice. You're not getting what you want right now, but it's putting you in a better position later on to get to where you need to be. And that is a critical part, because most people just don't have the discipline. But when you employ the right team around you, the right resources, the right network, the right mindset, okay, it'll change your life forever and be one of the best decisions that you ever made.
Facts. And I've been writing these down. So right now we got: know you are a winner, learn every day, work on your weaknesses, be able to flip the switch and be focused, get over yourself, and your relationships will change. So we'll definitely get a flyer out to this, because this is fire. All right, here we go.
Why not though? Why didn't you do that?
Well, because when I retire, I didn't want to have to say, I wish I would have done more. I don't want that. I don't want that. You know, you got a lot of people paying their hard-earned money to come watch you perform. Perform. It's your job to be in shape. It's your job to be strong enough to perform at that level every single night. And as a competitor, I'm not ducking shit. Like, it's not, oh my God, my back hurts, I'm sore, we got to play Vince Carter and Toronto Raptors tonight. We actually had this happen. We had a game against Toronto in 2000, and Vince was tearing the league up. My back was jacked. But like the perception of that, like what? Kobe's missing the game against Toronto and Vince Carter because my back was really spasming. But people will be like, what? Oh, he's ducking Vince. Excuse me? No, I don't think so. So I would be in the layup line like, okay, there's a lot of days where, you know, you can rest and recover. Today ain't one of them. Your back can bother you any other day. That shit ain't bothering me today. Wow. He gonna have to see me today. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
If you're looking at
So for me, I put down on that no excuses. You know, you can if you're struggling with money and finances, you can come up with all the excuses in the world. I'm sure you've had some bad luck. You didn't start in a good spot. You know, bad events happen. Your car broke down. You know, whatever it was, you have to get rid of those. Okay, you cannot rely on excuses. You must accept the fact everything in your life is your fault. Point blank. Period.
Yeah.
big investments you got to make. What is the decision-making process there? Do you call? Is there first you do your own research? You take this much time. You call an advisor. Is there a system you follow?
It's pretty simple for me. It's do you understand the business? Is it a business that you can help in some form or fashion? What are the barriers of entry to that business? And then the entrepreneurs themselves, the company itself. Right? Do they have a culture that you believe is sustainable? Are these leaders people that you believe in? Are they people that are obsessives? And in turn, have they created a culture of obsessiveness? So I tend to look at those four factors, and that's it.
That's big right there, by the way. I don't know if you guys caught that right there. That's pretty massive right there.
That's us, Ricardo. That's what we're doing right now, right? We're creating that culture of obsessiveness when it comes to mindset and finances. Because until we do that, people will not take this serious. People will not be ready to follow us. So that's what we're doing here. That's why we're going on this 90-day run and coming to you guys live 5 days a week. M.I.M.S, anything you want to add about that?
Yeah, and I've always said it, constantly, continuously, consistently building wealth in precious metal assets and crypto, because I know for a fact that if you are constantly, continuously, and consistently accumulating physical silver, physical gold, getting into blockchain and crypto, holding certain strategic cryptocurrency, blockchain, digital assets, that there's no way that you don't make sure that a wealthy family comes from you if you didn't come from a wealthy family. It's just a matter of time. And the elements and the variables that we're facing right now in this global economy are ensuring that more and more data, more and more information. As I keep waking up and checking this data, looking at the news, I'm seeing more and more reasons why we're on the right path of holding the right assets. You know, these are the assets that the wealthy hold. You know, and then now when we're employing systems to give people more of a holistic approach to not just accumulating assets, but making sure that whatever shock they feel in their own economy because of what's going on in the global economy, that it doesn't have such a great effect on them, because once again, we've helped them get their credit right, eliminate debt, you know, help them have the proper tax legal services that they'll need for events that are coming up in their financial situation, and all the other services that we help to have them have a holistic approach to their financial situation. So, you know, to me, it's an inevitability. And when you understand that and you keep working at that, that's how you know you'll get to your end goal and be able to pass on and create real generational wealth.
And why you need all aspects when it comes to finances. You know, we can tell you guys to buy gold and silver or buy Bitcoin, but if you don't, you know, fix yourself holistically, it's just a matter of time until you're going to have to sell those assets. So what, you know, you could have bought gold and silver, but if you got to sell them within the first year or two, you're not going to, you know, you're going to miss out on the long-term gains of these assets. Yeah. So this is why it's so important to focus on everything when it comes to your finances.
same determination. What's your current work schedule look like today?
It's different because I personally am not writing every word of the novels. I am not animating the films. What I have to do now is make sure that the people that we bring in, these obsessives that we bring in, are challenging themselves to do the best job that they think they can do. That's what I'm there for, is for them to constantly look in the mirror and self-assess and challenge themselves. If we have a project and you're saying, okay, I can do that, that's not the project we want. The projects that say, I don't know if I can animate that. I don't know how to write that story. I don't know how to do that. Those are the things we want, because through that curiosity, you'll reach a level that you didn't think was possible. And so running the studio, that's what I'm doing.
So I would apply that this way, Ricardo. You might have a different thought, but for me, when I just got there of like dreaming bigger, don't just dream of, oh, I really want to pay off this debt, dream bigger. And that's when things happen, for everything that has ever existed in the entire world had to be first thought of in someone's mind.
Yeah. Look, you don't have to do it alone, folks. That's the main point of the whole video. A lot of times with this information we're putting out is you don't have to do this alone. There are systems in place. There's automation in place. So even when we're talking about, the credit, or we're talking about debt elimination, or any of the services that we're talking about, a lot of them are automation to a certain degree. It's a simple process that's set up on automatic to help you get there. So what you want to do is you want to run your life like a CEO. If you was a CEO of a company right now, how would you judge your own leadership of your life? Step outside of yourself and see how you're running your what services are you utilizing? Where's your network? What is your team? When you're looking at your financial situation, you just need to make sure that you are now bringing on the right people on your team, because maybe you were the CEO of your life, but you was a sole proprietor. You was doing it all by yourself. You ain't have no organization. You ain't have no leadership. You ain't have no team, no resources. Well, now as a CEO, now you say, you know what? We're going to employ, a legal team. We're going to employ a tax team. We're going to employ people that are using AI and robotics to help get this financial situation of this company, myself, in order. So that way, moving forward, the year after, my last few years or my next few years don't look like my last few years. And so that's what we're getting excited about, because we're going through this process and journey as well. We're documenting this as well. And so over the years, we're accumulating more and more silver. Over the years, we're accumulating more and more gold. We're accumulating more and more cryptocurrency. We're becoming more and more aware of the shift that's going on and how we can position ourselves. And we want to make sure that we share and bring those resources to the community as well.
Absolute fire, guys. I love working with you, brother. That was fire.
You're playing against the Golden State Warriors. Score is 107-109. You guys are close to getting into the playoffs. You know exactly what happens in the game. You go up, you're about to take your shot, and then all of a sudden, boom, Achilles happens, right? He went and hit the free throws, and then you walked off the stage.
Yeah.
And you got the surgery done.
I went in the trainer's room, my kids are in there, and they're looking at you and stuff, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, it's all right, Dad's gonna be all right. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. And as a parent, you gotta set the example. You gotta set the example. This is another obstacle. This obstacle cannot define me. It's not gonna cripple me. It's not gonna be responsible for me stepping away for the game that I love. I'm gonna step away on my own terms. And that's when the decision was made that, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You're a freaking beast,
Yeah. So, right away, Ricardo, I say this all the time, but I'm going to take away that embrace the pain. He didn't get upset. He didn't get negative when he had that injury. He knew that this was just an obstacle that was only going to make him stronger in the end.
Yeah, a lot of people's lives right now are already in financially already in pain. They're already in struggle. They already have challenges. And what you want to do is not succumb to those challenges. You don't want to let them keep you down the whole time. So anticipate new challenges coming. And this is a beautiful thing, because you have the ability to anticipate challenges. You have to also know that you have the ability to overcome them, and that you've already overcome them. You've already started on a journey where you know your end result's going to be. And you know that in that process, there are going to be challenges. There's going to be extra effort. There's going to be, things that come about. But if you already know and you mentally prepare yourself that there's something, you might not know the level or the degree of it, but you know that there is something coming. There's a challenge with me moving forward, but this is the right and the next step that I need to do. So when you know that, already have in your mind that no matter what it is, you've already overcome it, because you're already at your end goal. You're just going through the motions. So just go through the motions. And this is what we're saying, is that you have to have the right team or a system or a process, because during those challenging times, that's where most people fail. They start the diet plan, they start the workout plan. Then when the muscle pain happens, and then when they got all this stuff going on in their life, they just stop. But if they had the right people motivating them, if they had the system, if they had the resources, they just need a little push to keep them going. So we want to help give people that little push, no matter where you are financially, by helping you use some of the phenomenal resources and platforms we're using now to be able to get to the next level as well.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, guys, wherever you're at, we want to help you improve, whatever that means. Okay, so if it's improving your credit, maybe it's purchasing a first house, or a bigger or a nicer house, or getting out of debt, or paying off, your student loans that have been there forever. It could be,
just kind of restructure your life.
Yeah, saving more, getting more assets, whatever it is. Okay, the next 90 days. You can jump on whenever you want, but we're going to be going hard. We want to help as many people as possible, whether that's just coaching, keeping you accountable. And like Ricardo said, is, what's nice now is we have experts in the field of all of these, anything finance now, right? We are able to leverage the experts. As Kobe said, we have the GOAT mountain when it comes to finances here. So we want to help as many people in the next 90 days. And again, we're getting up, earlier than we normally do, getting stuff done. We're going to be coming live to you guys at noon, Monday through Friday for the next 90 days. Like I said earlier, though, Thursday we'll be on Zoom. Friday we'll start here, but then we'll probably have to switch over to Rumble, because you're going to hear my actual thoughts for the first time in probably 4 years. And I know Ricardo will have a lot to go on too. Most of the things that we talk about personally, we can't really talk on Facebook and YouTube without getting, censored and banned.
Yep.
Any last words, M.I.M.S, or are we good?
Okay. Yeah, that was. Yeah. So, I mean, shout out to, rest in power to the GOAT, of course, Kobe Bryant himself. And, that's just a testament that, we live beyond, our physical days. And, what he meant to him, his family and the league and in the world, you mean the same to your loved ones. You mean the same to your future generation. There are people around you who want you to step up, because you're that motivation, you're that light, you're that symbol in their life. And when they see you step up, it's going to give them the motivation, the ability to see that they can do the same thing. And so, this is why we get excited about, this runners community and what we're doing, because we're all motivating, pushing each other up, realizing that we're having a greater impact on each other's lives just by being ourselves, just by virtue and wanting the same things in life, and finding those resources, finding that network, utilizing those systems, being aware of this market, becoming more informed, and taking advantages of the things that we find and see. And opportunities, are always here. We're in a crisis right now, but amongst this crisis is a massive opportunity. And, we're going into 2024. This is the shift, folks. We are literally going to start to really see blockchain take hold going into 2024 with crypto. Obviously, we talk about the happening with Bitcoin, but there's a lot of stuff happening internationally with the banks and XRP and ISO tokens. There's a lot of things happening right now with the financial system, a lot of banks that are going to go under. Okay, we're looking at possibly a market crash here, obviously in real estate and different things. And there's just some data and there's some information that people don't know about how bad the situation really is, that you will hear about it, feel it, and see it very soon. Okay, this is not something that's decades away. And this is something that where if you have not put yourself in position to capitalize off of it, you might not have another opportunity, because once the new system is rolled out, you either going to be wealthy or you're going to be poor. You're going to be stuck in a system with some universal basic income, slavery, social credit score system. I mean, it's look, you want to give yourself options. And so that's what this is all about. Making sure that you have options, but you have to do certain things, give yourself a level playing field in your finances so that when you employ these options, you don't have to fall and rely on these options and then work yourself backwards. You should be able to build and continue to build and then leverage those assets to build even more.
100%. I love it. Appreciate everyone jumping on today. If you guys can like the video, share it out, tag a few people. We got to get that algorithm going earlier in the day for us. So we'll
definitely share it out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys. We love you. We can't wait to see how many of you are going to win with us in the next 90 days. We'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Lace up.
Lace up. Let's get wealthy.